all you need to know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business. Good morning and thanks for listening in. This is the daily morning update from Bloomberg Quint and I'm Alex Matthew. India reported just over 20,000 fresh COVID-19 cases in the 24 hours to 8 a.m. yesterday, taking the total tally to over 1.02 crore according to the Health Ministry's latest update. This indicates that the current trend that we're witnessing is intact and we haven't yet seen a spike in cases like several other countries have. The total number includes nearly 1.48 lakh deaths and 97.82 lakh patients who have recovered. In news on monetary policy, a study by the Reserve Bank of India points to maintaining inflation target at 4% in the medium term. The study comes ahead of the inflation target review in March next year. Remember, the inflation target, which is reviewed every 5 years, is set at 4% with a symmetrical tolerance band of plus or minus 2%. The central government, which determines the inflation target in consultation with the central bank, was earlier reported to be considering a looser inflation target to enable more focus on economic growth as inflation remained well above the target for most of this year. But while inflation expectations aren't fully anchored to the target, the RBI sees a convergence underway. The working paper found that since 2014, when the 4% target was first set, trend inflation in India has shown a steady decline, easing to 4.3% in the quarter ended March ahead of the COVID-19 pandemic. In other news, the Mumbai bench of the Income Tax Appellate Tribunal has quashed a revision order issued by the Income Tax Commissioner against 3 Tata Group trusts that had sought to revise their nil return of income for the financial year ending March 2015. The 2-member bench observed that the orders were devoid of any legally sustainable merits and were passed with a glaring non-application of mind. For more details on that, do look up the story on the website bloombergquint.com. Now, Reliance Capital has raised objection to the proposed 33.12% stake sale of Prime Focus Limited by Credit Suisse to PFL's promoter group at 44.15 rupees per share. Anil Ambani's company has termed the proposed transaction as a blatant abuse of the purported rights by Credit Suisse under certain lending agreements with the RCap group, but it didn't go into more details. In international news, emerging market exchange-traded funds have received money for an 8th consecutive week in the week ended December 24th, which is the longest streak of inflows in a year. Investors added $1.02 billion to US-listed ETFs that invest across developing nations as well as those that target specific countries in the week ended the 24th of December, compared with gains of $2.87 billion in the previous week, according to data compiled by Bloomberg. India saw the most inflows during the week, worth $407.1 million. In the US, the House voted yesterday to override President Donald Trump's veto of a $740 billion defense policy bill. If the Senate follows suit as expected in the last few days of Trump's presidency, it will be the first time that one of his vetoes has been overruled. Voting to override Trump's veto reflects a widening rift between the president and some congressional Republicans who have stood by him through previous conflicts as his influence ebbs. In international markets, US stocks ended higher yet again, with the Dow and the Nasdaq gaining about 0.7% each and the S&P 500 ending higher by 0.9%. And it's a strong start to trade for 2 of the 3 early risers in the Asia-Pacific region. The Kospi in South Korea was largely flat. And with that, it's over to Hormuz Fatakia for the trade setup for the day in India. Morning, Hormuz. How are we looking today?
Good morning to you, Alex, and to those tuning in. The first trading day of the final week of 2020 began on just the right note for the Indian markets, with the Sensex and the Nifty registering yet another record high. Foreign inflows continue unabated, with another 1,500 crore buy number being registered on Monday. Now let's take a look at some of the specific stocks that will be in focus today. AU Small Finance Bank has announced a strategic partnership with ICICI Prudential Life Insurance to offer personalized life insurance products. It aims to deliver insurance solutions to more than 18 lakh customers through the digital platform with ICICI Prudential. Biocon has announced the launch of tacrolimus capsules in the United States. Tacrolimus is an immunosuppressant used in the treatment of organ transplant patients and reduces the body's ability to reject a transplanted organ. Cochin Shipyard will be in focus today. The company will hold a board meeting on the 4th of January to consider an interim dividend for FY21. Watch out for Rupa and Company, where Abacus Emerging Opportunities Fund has acquired 12 lakh shares or 1.5% stake through large deals at 250 rupees a share. Titan will be in focus today after the board has given its approval to provide a corporate guarantee worth over 900 crore rupees for its wholly owned subsidiary Titan Commodity Trading. The subsidiary intends to use these proceeds for working capital needs and other purposes. Some buzzing stocks from Monday's trading session. Carborundum Universal ended with gains of over 7% and at the highest level since January of 2018. The stock is within touching distance of an all-time high. Bamalori is the other buzzing stock which ended at the highest level in nearly 3 years. The stock gained over 16% on Monday, which was the biggest single-day gain since November of 2007. And Steel Authority of India was the top gainer on the Nifty Midcap Index, ending 6% higher on Monday and at the highest level since November of 2018. In fact, it is also back in the F&O ban along with Canara Bank and Punjab National Bank. Early ticks on the SGX Nifty showed that the index traded 40 points higher, above the mark of 13,900. More on the stocks in focus along with a lot more in our All You Need to Know copy on BloombergQuint.com. With that, I wish you a safe day ahead, and it's back to you, Alex.
Thanks, Hormuz, and as always, thank you all for listening in. That's all we have for you on this podcast, but as always, there's a lot more on the website BloombergQuint.com, so don't forget to check it out. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great day.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you could listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Paisa Vaisa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma, or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.